Okay, we're rolling.
This is an interview with Peter Thomas, the Holiday Inn, Fishkill, New York. It is the 9th of October, 2003, approximately 9 a.m. The interviewers are Mike Russert and Wayne Clark. Could you give me your full name, date of birth, and place of birth, please?
My name is Peter S. Thomas. I was born in, June 29th, 1921.
Okay, and where, please?
I was born in North Tarrytown, which is now Sleepy Hollow.
Yes, I saw they changed their name. What was your educational background prior to entering service?
Well, I graduated out of the 8th grade. I started high school, but I had to go to work. We weren't rich people. And instead of going to high school, I had to go to work and take care of a cow we had home. My first job was shearing sheep for A.V. Lewis, $2 a day, 9 hours a day. And then, well, after that, I went to, no, I think I went to work for Sikorsky after that, building the Corsair. And after there, that's where I got called into service then in 1942.
So how long did you work in
Corsair?
on the Corsair?
About 3 years.
Now, that wasn't considered an essential industry, a defense industry?
Yeah, we were building the Corsair, which was a Navy fighter.
Right. Were you drafted or did you enlist?
No, I was drafted.
So even though you were in a defense industry, you were...
Well, I could have got out of it, but I did get a furlough for, I don't know what they call it, for 6 months. Deferment for 6 months. But then the next time they called, I figured I'd go in.
Do you remember where you were and your reaction to the news about Pearl Harbor?
I believe I was... No, I can't say I actually remember where I was. I don't really remember exactly the point where I was.
Do you remember any reaction to the news?
Well, I know Roosevelt was on the radio then, and I know he was talking about, well, everybody was talking about Japanese bombing the Philippines, and they had, he declared war. He didn't want war, but we were forced into it. And I don't remember too much about it because, like I say, I was working and I didn't get too much chance to listen to radio, or we didn't have any television.
Right. Okay. When were you drafted?
Well, they called me in early part of 42, but I didn't actually go in until November 42.
And you were assigned to the Air Force?
I was assigned to the well, at first I didn't know where I was going. I went to Fort Dix, and from Fort Dix they sent us down to Atlantic City. Atlantic City we took our basic training, and then they said I had a mechanical ability, so they sent me to Denver, Colorado for armament on fighter planes. And I went through school, I graduated out of school. And then they put a call out for gunners on the bombers. They didn't have enough of gunners. So for that I volunteered, which today I don't know whether it was good or bad, but anyway, I did volunteer for the gunnery school. And I took my training down in Hollington, Texas, and Laurie Field. The armament school I went to was in Buckley Field in Colorado. And then, well, then we had some flying experience, and that was over the Pacific. We were shooting at a target that was towed by another plane for practice, and that was about all the training we had. And well, in 43, I was overseas already. I was in Africa.
Now, were you assigned to a crew before you went over?
Yes.
Um,
We had our own crew. I was in the fourth, matter of fact, I think it was a new squad. I think it was a new bomb group in the squadron that they were forming at the time. I went in the 446, and it was the 707. That was bomb group 707 squadron. And we went. We were down in Africa, but we didn't do actually.
Now, where did you pick your plane? Did you fly over?
We flew over.
Where did you pick your plane up?
At Laurie Field. And,
What kind? 24 or 17?
B-24.
24.
And we stuck with that plane. We flew that, well, we went from Miami. I don't know the name of all the airfields, but we went from Miami to Puerto Rico, from Puerto Rico to British Guiana. From British Guiana we went to Brazil. And I know we left Natal and went to Dunkirk, and not Dunkirk, Dakar in Africa is where we landed. That's actually we didn't do any combat there. We were more or less still training, but we did get we got credit for being in war zone. We were in a war zone. And I did get a medal for it, but I didn't really do anything down there.
So you had no combat
Experience.
missions
No.
while you were in Northern
We
Africa?
flew, but just to practice more or less. And then from there I went to Bainbridge, England. And from there we flew 7 missions. And we lost our plane at the 7th mission.
Now, did you, going back with your plane, did you get a chance to name the plane?
The pilot did name it, and we had a picture. I have a picture of it. We had a picture of a girl painted on it, but I don't remember what it was. I honestly don't. That plane got shot up so bad on the 7th mission that the pilot brought it over to a emergency field in England, which was just a strip with a couple of cabins, and really an awful place we stayed. But we used to only stay there for one night. Then they picked us up in trucks and brought us back to the base. And then we didn't do anything for a while, and then they broke up the crew. The crew.
Okay, I'm going to go back a little bit.
Okay.
First, did you ever decorate your jacket at all?
No.
Never decorated it. Did you wear a flak suit, flak jacket when you were in the
That's one
plane?
thing they never issued us, but
You never received them?
No, sir. Well, I understood they had them later on in life, but we didn't have one.
Okay. When and where was your first mission?
The first mission I made was in December of 43. Actually, where we went, I have a list of the dates, but I cut the places out because I didn't want people to know where I bombed. I knew a lot of people after that in Holland. You know, I met a lot of people, and if I told them where I bombed on a certain day, and if they told me I had an experience with an Army soldier that had his leg blown off, and he said I wouldn't mind if it was the enemy that did it, but it was my own people did it. And I know that we bombed our own troops at one time, but it wasn't our fault. We were sent out to bomb this place, and the enemy was, we were supposed to be helping them. We were going to bomb them so they can get in there, but they were already in there when we dropped the bombs. And that was during the invasion, of course. So, and then I know some people from Holland which were very nice, and we did bomb a lot of places in Holland, and I didn't want to know nothing about it. So I cut that part out. I can show you the paper.
Okay. How about your 7th mission? What happened to you, and do you remember your target on that one?
The 7th mission I know we did in Frankfurt. We were over Frankfurt. The first mission that we really got shut up pretty bad, but we got the plane home. That was the 3rd mission. That's where the waist gunner was taken out. He went a little flat copy, what they call him. And that's when I took over the waist. So I was in the tail, actually, the first 3 missions. Then they put me in the waist. Well, I asked to be put in the waist because I was too tall for the tail. And then every time we got shot up pretty bad, we used to get 10 days off. But after the 7th mission, we got shot up. That's when we lost the plane. Actually, we didn't lose the plane. We got it across to England, but it was so badly, they just used it for parts after.
How bad does a plane have to be used for parts? I've seen...
Well, we had 2 engines completely shot out. And number 2 is where I lost my hearing. I had my head out the window, and the number 2 engine got blown, well, flak right underneath it. And I had my head out the window looking to see where the bombs dropped. The bombardier told me, Pete, I was the first armor, so that was one of my jobs. And when I stuck my head out, we just got hit in there, and my ears were ringing. I didn't get hit by any flak or anything, but just the noise knocked my hearing out. And that's why they give me this is not a microphone, this is my hearing aid control. I don't have it in right now, because 1-to-1 I can talk. But we lost number 1 engine, number 2 engine, and number 3 was spitting. And he brought it in, the pilot brought it in on number 4 and the number 3 spitting. And we threw everything out of the plane. We tore the oxygen tanks out, threw the machine guns out, all the bullets out. Anything that was loose we threw out of the plane, and we kept going down, but he made it across. We dropped, we were flying, I think, at somewhere around 28,000 feet. And he didn't pull that plane out until we were down to about 12,000 feet. We dropped over 5,000 feet. And I got pinned up against the plane. We all did, until your body starts falling with the plane, you're pinned up against it. So we didn't have even a chance to get out until the pilot finally straightened it out a little bit. But he said, nobody bails out, we're going to try and bring it home. And he brought it home.
Okay. How many missions did you have total?
I had a total of 30. I was only supposed to do 25, but after D-Day, they were flying so many missions, and they got much easier because we weren't hitting flak, we weren't hitting fighters. We used to hit flak as soon as we hit the coast. But after D-Day, well, you didn't have that problem. And they added another 5 on, so I did a complete 30.
Was your plane ever shot up again like it was
No,
earlier?
we never got shot up that bad after that. We got shot up, but after that, well, you can see the way the missions were flowing. In 1943, well, it was in December, I only did 1 mission. Then in 44, in January, I think we did 3 missions. February, I think we did 4 missions. I could tell better if I looked at the paper. But anyway, in June, I think we did 8 or 9. missions because it got so much easier that there was no more fighters coming in out of, there was now and then you saw one out there lobbing in rockets, but there was nothing like when we first started.
Did you ever see, were you ever under direct attack by fighters?
Oh yes, we had ME-109s several times. There were so many of them up in the sky. When we first, now I'm going back early 44 and 43, them missions we had a lot of fighters. And we had no fighter escort. We had P-47, but they half of the time they weren't with us. They couldn't fly with us. Later on they got in P-51s and P-38s, and pretty much the German planes were kept away from the fire, from the bombers.
Do you ever see a jet? Did you ever see a jet, a German jet aircraft?
No, never. I think it was back in the States already before they come.
Oh, okay. When did you go back to the States?
I think, I'm not sure whether it was, I think it was early 45.
What was your assignment when you went back to the States?
Well, I went to Atlantic City and, we were supposed to go to fight in Japan. You know, you do 25 there and then you come home for a month and then you go to Japan. Only when I got in Atlantic City and they gave me a physical, they found out I was deaf. Because I never told anybody I wasn't deaf in one ear when I was in it. Because I didn't want to, I was no hero, but I wanted to get home. I didn't want to, you know, miss out on my missions. So I never told anybody I lost my hearing completely on that mission. So I kept flying, but when I got back to the States, they gave me a physical before I went over. So then they assigned me, they grounded me. And I was supposed to go to mechanic school. But leave it to the Army, they put me in the medics, which I knew nothing about. Now I was a staff sergeant and there was a private PFC there, and he knew all about medics. I think he had gone to school, and he was in charge of the dispensary outside of course, the doctors. And they put me in charge of him because I had the stripes. He didn't have them, but I didn't know nothing. He had to teach me everything I knew. But I just let him run the place, and I just sat back. That's all. So.
When were you discharged?
The actual date?
Well, no, the month.
45, I think, somewhere, and I think it was somewhere in November.
Okay.
45.
I
got out on points. You know, you probably heard of the point system.
Yes.
So you got out after they had bombed Japan.
I got out before the war was over in Germany, I think. Or as soon as the war was over in Germany, I think. I don't remember exactly what it was. But we were still at war with Japan.
Okay.
Do you remember your reaction to the death of President Roosevelt at all?
About?
The death of President Roosevelt. Did you have any reaction to that? Or you...
No, I mean I read about it in the Stars and Stripes, but and I heard about it, but I didn't actually.
Okay. You were out of service when the war with Japan ended. What did you hear? Any reaction to the dropping the atomic bombs? Do you remember that at all?
Actually, people were very happy that the war was over. That's all. And I mean, there was none of this complaining about dropping a bomb on them or this or that. Some people, I believe that there was a little reaction on. They thought that we did the wrong thing, killing that many people, but it saved a lot of our soldiers. So I don't think we did the wrong thing myself.
Did you ever attend any USO shows?
Few, not many. I went to see, I don't even remember what this, I know one of them had Mickey Rooney they had, and but I don't really remember them that well. I
Okay.
can't say as I remember them too well.
Did you ever use the GI Bill?
Yes, I did. I went to radio television school under the GI Bill, and New York Technical Institute of New Jersey. I don't know why they call it New York. It was in New Jersey. But anyway, I did go to radio TV school.
Mm-hmm.
And I did come out I was working in television for a few years. But then I went to, I was still in electronics, but I went to work for a company because I didn't like television work. Well, at that time, when the television man walked in, the people looked at you, well, here's the crook. Because there was a lot of crookedness going on. And when TV came out first and people weren't familiar with it, anyway, I didn't like that attitude they were taking, so I gave it up.
Did you ever use the 5220 Club?
Yeah, I was on it for about 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Remember, no, I didn't tell you, I was married when I went in.
Oh, I didn't know.
And I had a child, so I couldn't loaf. Even though we did break up after, but I had to go to work. I couldn't live on 5220. So, and I did take quite a few different jobs until I got where I was making a halfway decent salary.
Did you join any veterans organizations?
VFW, in the one in North Tarrytown, and I also was in one in Florida, but I don't belong to any right now. As a matter of fact, I was also in American Legion in Tarrytown.
How about the 8th Air Force organization?
You know, I got a letter from, I think it was Doolittle, or one of the generals, and I did send in $3 to join. At that time it was $3. I still have the letter. But I sent $3 and I never heard anything from him, and I never pursued it. I just let it go, you know. And I never even thought of it until I was looking through my papers, and I just happened to find that letter in there where they invited me to join the Air Force Command, and I just, well, it's too late now.
No, not really.
No, you could still, it's a very active organization. Have you stayed in contact with, did you ever stay in contact with anyone that you were in service with?
No, I didn't have time for it, to be honest with you. I was busy trying to make a living. And, you know, I was a married man, so...
How do you think your time in the service changed or affected your life?
Well, I don't think I would ever, I don't know, maybe not. After I got back home, our marriage life wasn't the same. You know, it's, after being away from a woman for a long time, you get home, well, we tried, but it didn't work out. I got divorced somewhere after I was out about 2 years or 3 years. So.
Did you ever remarry?
Oh yeah, I got remarried. I've been with this one for 50 some odd years.
Okay. Do you have any photographs or anything to show us?
Now, let me ask, is this photograph of you?
That's me.
Okay, you want to hold that
Where
up?
did you get that one?
It was with the application.
With your application.
Oh, I sent that one in?
Yes.
Oh.
We could make a copy of it if you want it back.
Well, I have plenty of, I think I got a couple of these, that's why
Okay.
Did
Do
you
you-
want to take this here?
Yes, we'll take it, but where was that taken and when? Do you remember?
Yeah, this was taken in 1943.
Oh, it's on-
The date is on the back.
Oh, okay.
All right, you want to just
And
hold that up for a
I'm
second?
not sure exactly where it was. I don't think it's going to come out. I shake.
Oh, yeah, no, that's all right.
It'll come out. Okay.
Okay, got it. Now, you were with the 93rd Bomb Group.
Yeah, I was with 1246
Okay.
at first, and then after my 7th mission, then I was transferred to the 93rd, but we had new officers and we had a different plane.
Uh-huh.
So, let's see, what did I have here? I bought the discharge log so I can see the dates, but anyway. Oh, this is a picture of, this is a picture of the crew that I flew the first
But
7
can
missions.
you just hold it back a little farther? That way it's easier to focus on.
This is the first 7 missions I flew with this crew here.
Okay,
And
now,
this is the plane we had. As if you look over in the front, you can see a sort of an image of a woman.
now whereabouts are you in the picture?
You picked me out. Look at the first guy over here. The tallest one, I guess you'd say.
Okay, that's you.
Yeah, the first one on this side. Standing
Okay.
up.
All right.
The 4 kneeling down are the officers.
Okay.
This is, I don't know whether you can take it through the thing here.
Yeah.
That's our right wing plane, and this is our plane, the tail here, and this is the P-47 that we had for escort.
Now, are you carrying sidearms? Did you carry
Right.
sidearms?
Yeah.
You did on all your missions?
Oh yes, we carried them with us. Well, some of the fellas.
Okay, I got it.
Some of the fellas carry. You had a choice. You could carry it anywhere you want. We had shoulder holsters. Some of them have them on their shoulder. But when I was in the tail, I had it on my sidearm, so I took it, so I could take it off. And on that, I had a clip. I can clip it on easy enough. But then when I was in the waist, I never changed it. I kept it there. So it was more convenient for me to carry it there.
Now, we interviewed somebody yesterday. They didn't carry sidearms because they were told that if they got shot down, if they were armed, they were more apt to be killed by the civilian populace. You know, if they were armed, they said their chances of survival would be better if they were unarmed. Did you ever hear?
They never told us that. We
Okay.
we had our sidearm with us all the time. As a matter of fact, well, we didn't have to carry them because they weren't really much good up in the air anyway, but they were for if we got shot down for protection. But we used to wear them all the time when we were,
Okay.
so. This is a old postcard that I sent to my brother, and this is the school, this is where I went to gunnery school. This was for armament school. Will they come out with the plastic
Oh,
on
yeah,
it?
yep. Okay, got it.
Got it?
Yep.
This is a list of the missions that I made. But I took out the places where I was because I didn't want anybody to know exactly where I went, at what dates I hit there.
Okay.
So, but it's taken. On the back of that is a Corsair, one of the first ones we built, and we bought that one and gave it to the Navy. That's one share I got in that plane.
Oh,
I just hope I know where it is. And, well, this is the letter I think I was telling you about. One of these, I can't see without my glasses. But one of these here letters are the ones that I send the $3 in this stay with the Air Force. I guess it must have, this is the one here. You want to take a picture of that, or you're not interested in that?
I don't think the text will come out on that.
Okay. I think that's the letter where they said, I send in the $3, but I never heard from them. Now, these are the pictures that I was sent these pictures from a fella in Africa that I met in Africa. He was a cameraman. And I actually don't have any use for them because they don't pertain to what I did.
Okay.
We bombed, but they're not any place that I was. So I figured maybe if the museum wanted these, they could
Oh,
have
okay.
them.
Now, these were taken somewhere in Africa?
They were taken, no, they were probably taken over Italy.
Oh, Italy,
More
okay.
than Africa.
All right. Yeah, if you'd like to
I
donate
have
these.
I have no use for them, so I figure if you wanted them for the museum, you're welcome to them.
Sure. Thank you.
Did you ever hear of the Mighty Eighth?
Oh, yes.
And they have a museum down there.
Down
I
on
said
Long
that-
Island.
I sent them some pictures too.
Uh-huh. Yeah, we've probably interviewed more fellas from the 8th Air Force than anybody else.
Then you probably got all the stories are about the same, no?
No, everyone is
Everyone
different.
something different.
Everybody has their own perspective.
Well, I really don't. On this here, this is one of the things that you could tell how we were doing the missions. What I did on the missions there. See what I was telling you about how far apart they're spread, and then near the end how they went. Because they were much easier then. We didn't have the fighters out there as much, and we didn't have the flak as much. We still had fighters at times, but near the end there was no fighters. I never saw a fighter on some of the missions.
I'd like to copy these, if you don't mind.
You're welcome.
Or not,
That
but-
there one you can have.
Oh,
Well, you
okay,
can
thank
make a copy, but you can also keep that
you.
one.
All right.
And I also have one of the second plane we had, of a copy of the crew, because we changed pilot, co-pilot, navigator, and bombardier were different. The officers were different than the ones we had for the 7 missions. That's for the first 7 missions we had. And this here, I brought along this is a list of the medals I got on the
Oh,
back.
if you want to hold that, the print is big enough, I can zoom in on that. You want to hold that up?
That's my back of my discharge.
Okay, just hold it there for a while. Oh, I see you got the Distinguished Flying Cross also.
Oh, you can see that in there?
Yep.
The Air Medal 5 times.
How about the Distinguished Flying Cross? When were you awarded that? And
Somewhere in 44.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll copy that also. Okay,
All right.
all right. Well, thank you very much for your
Yes,
interview.
thank you.
Well,
I'll be right back.
I hope I gave you some information.
Oh, plenty.
Yes.
Thank you.